I unexpectedly saved Lin Muan, the kidnapped daughter of a wealthy family. To pay back the favor, old Mrs. Lin gave me two options. Either marry her most beloved little granddaughter, Lin Muan, or take a small payout of 100 million yuan. I picked the money without hesitation. Then I booked the earliest available international flight. I just wanted to get the hell out of here as soon as possible. Get away from the girl I saved. Lin Muan, the top socialite of Beijing's elite circle. That's because I'm reborn. In my past life, after I saved the kidnapped Beijing elite socialite Lin Muan, I worked 5 jobs a day, spent all my energy taking care of her like a precious little princess. But after she was reunited with her family, she ordered that no one was allowed to ever mention that miserable period of her life. Old Mrs. Lin saw that I'd done the Lin family a huge favor, so she asked what I wanted as a reward. I was such an idiot back then, I said. I want to marry Wanner. I want to take care of her for the rest of my life. But I had no idea that from the day she returned to the Lin family, Lin Muan had already fallen for Ji Baiyang, the prince of Beijing's elite circle. After we got married, she was extremely cold to me. Every time she accidentally touched my hand, she would immediately run to the bathroom to scrub it clean. Then later, she got pregnant. To keep her true love from being labeled a homewrecker and be able to stay with him openly, she pushed me off a cliff with her own hands. Before I died, she walked over to my pool of blood in high heels and sneered, "Gucha, you're a cheap, broke loser who reeks of poverty. How dare you think you're worthy of being my husband? Yang is always my first choice. My second choice can be literally anyone else." When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day old Mrs. Lin asked me what I wanted as a reward for saving her granddaughter. This time I dumped all my stupid delusions. I didn't even glance at Lin Muan. I want a lump sum of cash, plus a plane ticket to the US. A sum of money, Guche? Are you playing hard to get with me right now? Lin Muan's shrill voice cut through the luxurious quiet of the Lin family's villa. She was sitting on a European-style leather sofa, arms crossed over her chest. The eyes that used to be filled with only me now held nothing but undisguised contempt and mockery. She'd only been back with the Lin family for less than 3 days. The cheap cotton dress I'd scrimped and saved to buy her had long been replaced by a custom Chanel suit. The blindingly shiny diamond necklace around her neck seemed to be silently drawing a clear line between the huge class gap between us. Old Mrs. Lin sat upright in the main seat, twisting a string of red sandalwood prayer beads in her hand. Her cloudy but sharp eyes sized me up from head to toe, like she was assessing the remaining value of a cheap knockoff product. "Mr. Gu?" Wanner just speaks her mind. Don't take it personally. A man in a white suit with subtle patterns walked out from behind Lin Muan. This was Ji Baiyang, a famously wealthy playboy in Beijing's elite circle. He casually sat down next to Lin Muan and took her hand very naturally. Lin Muan didn't pull away at all. Instead, the tips of her ears turned pink, and she leaned a little closer to him. Ji Baiyang looked at me, the corner of his mouth tugging up in a smile that looked gentle, but was actually full of malice. "Mr. Gu saved Wanner. It's only normal that you want some compensation. I just have to wonder, how big is this sum of money you're asking for?" He deliberately emphasized the word big when he spoke, his eyes full of condescending pity and disdain. I looked calmly at the 3 people in front of me. The weightless feeling of falling off the cliff in my past life and the searing pain of my bones shattering still seemed to linger in my body. The words Lin Muan yelled at me from the top of the cliff, "How could a dirty poor loser like you ever be my husband?" still rang loud in my ears. I pulled myself back to the present, looked past Ji Baiyang, and stared straight at old Mrs. Lin. "I want 10 million yuan." My voice was completely steady, like I was just talking about the weather. The living room fell dead silent instantly. Then Lin Muan let out an extremely exaggerated sneer. 10 million? "Gusha, are you out of your mind?" She stood up abruptly, pointing her finger right at my face. "You work 4 jobs a day, wait tables at restaurants, carry bricks at construction sites. How much do you even make a month working your ass off? And now you're asking for 10 million out of nowhere. You think the Lin family's money grows on trees?" The disgust in her eyes was almost palpable. I knew it. "You didn't save me out of the kindness of your heart at all. You're a total leech. You pretended to be all noble and wanted to leave. You just wanted to rip us off, right?" Ji Baiyang quickly grabbed Lin Muan's wrist and patted her back gently to calm her down. "Don't be mad, Wanner. It's not worth ruining your health over this." He turned to look at me, his brows slightly furrowed, put on a fake heartbroken act. "Mr. Gu, I thought you were an honest man. I never expected you to be so greedy. 10 million is really nothing to the Lin family. But for a bottom feeder like you, getting such a huge sum of money out of the blue can easily mess with your head and lead you astray. I suggest you keep your feet on the ground. Ask for 100,000 RMB or so. Go start a small business. Wouldn't that be better? Every word of his sounded like he had my best interest at heart, but every syllable called me insatiably greedy, too useless to ever amount to anything. I stared at Ji Baiyang's hypocritical face and suddenly realized how stupid and pathetic I was in my past life, to lose to this lousy, manipulative green tea boy. I ignored Ji Baiyang's provocation and only looked at old Mrs. Lin. Old Mrs. Lin. Is the life of the eldest Miss Lin not even worth 10 million? Old Mrs. Lin's hands twisting her prayer beads froze. A flicker of darkness crossed her cloudy eyes. The Lin family is a top prestigious wealthy clan in Jingzhou. If word gets out that the savior of the Lin family's daughter only got 100,000 RMB as hush money, where will the Lin family's face be? Fine, 10 million. I'll give it to you. Old Mrs. Lin's voice was hoarse, carrying an undeniable air of authority. Grandma, Lin Muan panicked and stomped her foot. How can you agree to his rude request? A poor loser like him will definitely squander the money however he wants. Old Mrs. Lin raised her hand. To stop Lin Muan from talking further, she stared at me, her tone ice cold. Gucha, I can give you the 10 million. But once you take this money, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. From now on, you can't tell anyone that you saved Warner, and you are never allowed to show up again for any reason in front of Warner or any member of the Lin family. Can you do that? I nodded without hesitation. Of course. I hope more than all of you that this lifetime, we never have any interactions ever again. Lin Muan was stunned. She obviously didn't expect me to agree so readily. Without even a hint of reluctance, deep down she thought, I'd be the one begging like a dog and clinging to her for dear life. Gucha, stop putting on an act here. Do you think getting money can erase that stench of a bottom feeder from the sewers? Let me tell you, even if you have 10 million, you're still a despicable loser in my eyes. Ji Baiyang cut in at the right time, a hint of smugness in his tone. Mr. Gu, what Warner said is a bit blunt, but it's the truth. Don't force your way into a circle you don't belong in. Take the money and go back to the mud pit you belong in. I watched them tag team to mock me and felt nothing at all. I even wanted to laugh a little. When will the money be in my account? I completely ignored their taunts and looked at old Mrs. Lin. I'll have the finance team prepare a check, the old lady said coldly. I want a direct cash transfer. I don't accept checks. My tone firm. Checks carry the risk of being frozen. I won't give them any leverage over me. Old Mrs. Lin gave me a long, hard look and finally nodded. All right, tomorrow afternoon, bring your ID with you. Come to Lin Group to sign the agreement. I turned around and walked towards the door, without pausing for a second. See you tomorrow afternoon. I'll disappear right after the money hits my account. I wish Miss Lin and young Master Ji a happy lifetime together. The next afternoon, I showed up at the legal department of Lin Group on time. The terms of the agreement were extremely harsh, almost completely stripping me of the right to mention Lin Muan's name in any context. I didn't even bother reading it carefully. I just signed my name on the last page right away and pressed my fingerprint. A loud ding, my phone vibrated. It was a bank notification text. 10 million had been deposited into my account. I stared at the long string of numbers and let out a long sigh of relief. From this moment on, I'm completely free. I walked out of the Lin Group building, took a cab back to that cramped, dark basement rental apartment. This place held all the hard work and pain from my past life. In the corner were stacks of things I collected for Lin Muan, waste cardboard I picked up to buy her nutritional supplements, that chipped cheap glass on the table. I pawned the only old watch my dad left me to get money for her cold medicine, and the street vendor threw this in for free. In my past life, Lin Muan took nothing when she went back to the Lin family. Except this glass, she said with red eyes back then. This is proof we went through thick and thin together. But I found out later, she only brought the glass back to prove to Ji Baiyang how horribly she had suffered at the bottom of society, so he would feel bad for her. Ji Baiyang finally took that glass right in front of me and smashed it to pieces casually. I picked up the glass, walked over to the trash can. I let go, and there was a sharp crack as the glass shattered all over the floor. Trash belongs in the trash can. Right at that moment, The wobbly iron door of the rental place was pushed open roughly. Lin Muan pinched her nose shut. Standing at the door looking utterly disgusted, Ji Bayang followed right behind her, holding a clean white handkerchief, fanning the air pretentiously. "Gucha, you actually are hiding in this disgusting place." Lin Muan's high heels clicked on the bumpy, uneven concrete floor, making a grating noise. "The smell here is even more disgusting than the sewers." Ji Bayang frowned slightly, his tone full of arrogance. "Wunner, I told you not to come to a place like this. Stay here one more second and you'll catch germs." I kept packing my few tattered clothes, without even looking up. "What brings the great Miss Lin here?"
What do you want?
"Our deal's already over." Lin Muan walked inside, glancing around the tiny room once. When she spotted the glass shards in the trash can, her face dropped instantly. "Gucha, you smashed that glass." She pointed at the trash can, her voice shrill and piercing. I stuffed the clothes into my worn-out canvas bag and zipped it up. "It's just a broken glass." "It was taking up space, so I threw it away." "What do you know?" "That's..." Lin Muan was about to retort reflexively, but she suddenly froze. She glanced at Ji Bayang next to her and forced the rest of the words back down. She couldn't let Ji Bayang see any fondness for her old life at all. Ji Bayang quickly picked up on Lin Muan's shift in mood. He stepped forward and nudged the glass shards on the floor with his toe, a sarcastic smirk on his face. "Mr. Gu, Wanner is sentimental. Even if it's trash, she thinks it has sentimental value. How could you smash it so roughly? That's so immature." He sighed, pulled a 100 yuan bill out of his wallet, and tossed it at my feet like he was giving alms to a beggar. "This kind of cheap street crap. You can buy a whole basket of for 100 yen. I'll pay you for it on Wanner's behalf. Stop looking so glum." The light, flimsy bill landed on my canvas bag. I stopped what I was doing and slowly stood up straight. I stared at Ji Bayang with cold eyes. "Young Master Ji, your money is too dirty. It makes me sick." Ji Bayang's face darkened immediately. "Gucha, don't you dare be ungrateful. You think just because you got 10 million, you're on the same level as me? In my eyes, you're still a groveling little bug." Lin Muan immediately stepped in front of Ji Bayang to protect him, glaring at me furiously. "Gucha, what's wrong with you? Bayang was nice enough to give you money. How dare you insult him? Pick up the money right now and apologize to Bayang." Her blatantly biased attitude was exactly the same as in my past life. I let out a cold laugh, lifted my foot and stepped straight on that 100 yuan bill, grinding it hard under my shoe. "Apologize? Does he deserve that? Lin Muan, do you actually think the whole world revolves around you? I spoiled you before, because I was blind. Now, in my eyes, you're worse than the glass shards in this trash can." Lin Muan's eyes went wide instantly, her face full of disbelief. She couldn't seem to accept that the Gucci, who used to obey her every word, would dare speak to her in that tone. How dare you talk to me like that?" She was shaking with rage and raised her hand to slap me across the face. I grabbed her wrist hard, with such force that she cried out in pain. "Miss Lin, cut that arrogant act of yours right now." I flung her hand away roughly. "Take your little lapdog with you. Get the hell out of my house, or I won't hesitate to call the cops and charge you with trespassing." Seeing this, Ji Bayang rushed over immediately to support Lin Muan and stared daggers at me. "Gucha, you just wait. Offend me, Ji Bayang in Jingzhou, and I've got 100 ways to make you wish you were dead." I slung my canvas bag over my shoulder and met his gaze without a shred of fear. "I'm ready whenever you are. I just doubt you've got the guts." I strode out of the rental apartment, leaving the two of them behind me. "Gucha, how did you get so mean these days? You're absolutely unreasonable." Lin Muan's furious voice came from behind me. I didn't even turn around. After leaving the apartment, I went straight to a budget hotel near the airport. My flight was booked for 6 days later. All I had to do was wait quietly during that time. But the Lin family clearly had no intention of letting me leave that easily. On the evening of the 3rd day, someone banged loudly on my hotel door. 2 bodyguards in black suits stood outside, holding a cheap suit in their hand. "Mr. Gu, the old lady has ordered that for the Lin family's thank you banquet tonight, you have to show up." The bodyguard spoke in a tough tone, leaving no room for negotiation at all. I frowned. "We already signed the agreement. I've taken the money too. I'm not obligated to attend any thank you banquet." The bodyguard let out a cold sneer. The old lady said, If you don't go, she has plenty of ways to make the construction company. You used to work at go bankrupt. I heard the foreman there treated you pretty well before. My gaze turned cold. Old Mrs. Lin is threatening me with innocent people. In my past life, that foreman did lend me a few $100 when I was at my lowest point. I may be cold-blooded, but I'd never let my savior get dragged into this. Fine. I'll go. I took the suit and changed into it right in front of them. The suit was obviously one size too small. The fabric was cheap and rough. I looked like a silly clown wearing it. The Lin family did this on purpose to embarrass me at the banquet, to make Ji Bayang look more noble by comparison. 8 p.m. The bodyguards half escorted me to the most luxurious hotel banquet hall in Jingzhou. Inside the resplendent golden hall, people were dressed to the nines, and glasses clinked everywhere. The second I stepped in, I immediately drew strange looks from everyone around. Who's that guy? He's dressed so shabbily. How did he sneak in here? I heard he's the one who saved Miss Lin. What a toad wanting to eat swan meat. He doesn't even know his own place. Yeah, compared to young Master Ji, it's like comparing heaven and earth. These snarky comments all drifted clearly into my ears. I walked expressionlessly to the corner sofa and sat down and picked up a glass of plain water. Not long after, a commotion broke out in the crowd. Lin Muan was arm in arm with Ji Bayang, walking out like the center of attention. Lin Muan wore an ice blue custom evening gown and looked absolutely stunning. Ji Bayang was wearing a perfectly tailored, formal black tuxedo with a priceless sapphire brooch pinned to his chest. The two of them standing together really did look like a perfect couple. Old Mrs. Lin stood on the stage, addressing the guests with a big smile on her face. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend my granddaughter Wanner's thank you banquet. Wanner was missing for many days, and thanks to the great help of young Master Ji Bayang, she was able to return home safely. Bayang is such a loyal and kind person, the Lin family, are deeply grateful. I sat in the corner listening to old Mrs. Lin twisting the facts like that, and almost laughed out loud. I was the one who risked half my life to save Lin Muan from the kidnappers. But according to old Mrs. Lin, Ji Bayang took all the credit. And me, the actual savior, don't even deserve to be named. Just then, Ji Bayang was holding 2 glasses of red wine and walked straight towards me. He had a fake smile on his face and spoke at a volume just loud enough for nearby people to hear, just loud enough for people around to hear. Mr. Gu, how boring it is to sit here alone. Come on. Let me toast you. He held out one of the red wine glasses to me. I didn't take it. I don't drink alcohol. A flicker of malice crossed Ji Bayang's eyes, but he still put on an innocent look on his face. Mr. Gu, are you refusing to give me face? Or are you still mad at me for what happened in the rental house that day? I know you're jealous that Wanner chose me, but you can never force romantic feelings. He deliberately raised his voice a little. The surrounding guests all stopped talking and looked over in our direction. Who the hell do you think you are to even deserve my jealousy? I stared at him coldly. Ji Bayang suddenly took a step forward and tripped over his own foot on purpose. The red wine glass in his hand tilted straight and spilled all over his own chest. Ouch! Ji Bayang screamed exaggeratedly and fell backwards straight to the ground. The dark red wine instantly stained his expensive white shirt red. The whole venue burst into an uproar. Lin Muan acted like a madwoman, pushing through the crowd and rushing over. Bayang! Are you okay? She helped Ji Bayang up with a distressed look and frantically wiped his clothes with tissues. Ji Bayang's eyes were red, his voice trembling, looking like he had suffered a huge injustice. I'm fine, Wanner. Mr. Gu is probably just in a bad mood. He didn't push me on purpose. That fake, innocent, manipulative line of his instantly ignited Lin Muan's fury. Lin Muan whipped her head around and glared at me with fire in her eyes. She rushed at me in her high heels, raising her hand to slap me across the face. I tilted my head slightly and easily dodged her slap. Guote! You despicable poor loser. Lin Muan pointed at me furiously, her voice shrill enough to pierce eardrums. Bayang was kind enough to toast you. How dare you push him? Kneel down and apologize to Bayang right now, or I will never let you off today. The surrounding guests also started scolding me. What an uneducated savage. Why would the Lin family invite this kind of low-life trash to the banquet? Hurry up and kneel to apologize. Don't disgust everyone here. I stood still in place, staring coldly at these self-proclaimed noble upper-class people. What if I say I won't apologize? Won't apologize. Gucha, do you forget what kind of trash you are? Lin Muan looked at me with utter disgust, as if she was looking at a pile of disgusting garbage. Her chest heaved violently, the finger pointing at me shaking with rage. You think just because you got that 10 million, you can do whatever you want in this circle. Let me tell you, crushing you here is easier than crushing a tiny ant. Ji Bayang leaned against Lin Muan's arms, continuing his disgusting fake acting performance. He gently tugged at the hem of Lin Muan's skirt, his voice so weak he looked like he'd pass out any second. Let it go, Warner. Mr. Gu probably just has a bad family background and feels inferior deep inside. That's why he did such an extreme thing. I'll just change my clothes, it's no big deal. Don't ruin everyone's fun because of me. The more he said things like that, the more Lin Muan thought he had been horribly wronged, and the deeper her hatred for me grew. No way. He must kneel and kowtow to apologize to you today. Just then, old Mrs. Lin was escorted by bodyguards as she walked over. Her face was livid. She squeezed her red sandalwood prayer beads so hard they creaked. Gucha, the Lin family is giving you face. Don't be ungrateful and push your luck. The old lady's voice wasn't loud, but it carried an unignorable aura of authority. If you don't kneel and kowtow to settle this today, I can have the bank freeze that 10 million of yours anytime. Not just that, I will also make sure you can't get by in Jingzhou, or even anywhere else in the entire country. As soon as the old lady finished speaking, over a dozen tall, muscular, black-clad bodyguards quickly surrounded me, trapping me tightly in the corner. The surrounding guests all stepped back, afraid of getting blood splashed on them, but their eyes were full of excitement for the show. The sense of oppression reached its peak at this moment. Everyone thought that I, a low-class poor loser, in front of the Lin family's power, could only kneel and beg for mercy humbly. I looked at Lin Muan's smug, triumphant face, at the undisguised malice hidden in Ji Bayang's eyes, at old Mrs. Lin's arrogant, high and mighty attitude. I suddenly laughed. The sound of my laughter echoed in this dead silence. It felt super out of place in the banquet hall. What are you laughing at? Are you crazy? Lin Muan frowned. My laughter creeped her out a little. I wiped the smile off my face, slowly pulled my phone out of my pocket. I'm laughing at you so-called smart upper-class folks. Getting played like a fiddle by a cheap fraud. As I spoke, I tapped open an app on my phone. This is a basic hacking skill I taught myself in my past life to stop construction contractors from stiffing me on pay. When I used to work manual jobs, I was bored hanging out in the corner just now. So I hacked into this hotel's security system on a whim. Open your eyes wide and look carefully, Lin Muan. See who's actually being the petty jerk here. I hit the enter key. Right in the middle of the banquet hall, the huge LED screen flickered all of a sudden. Right after that, the screen that was playing the Lin family's corporate promo switched to a high-definition security footage clip. The footage clearly showed everything that just happened. Ji Bayang walked towards me holding a wine glass. I even stepped back half a step when he got close. My hands stayed in my pockets the whole time. I didn't touch him at all, not even a little, and Ji Bayang deliberately tripped over his own left foot. Then he aimed the entire glass of red wine and spilled it right on his own chest. Then he fell backwards on purpose, to pull off that lousy fake fall. The whole process was shown from every angle, for everyone to see, no blind spots at all. Even that sinister little smile he had, on his face right before he fell, was zoomed in so everyone could see it clearly. The whole room went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone's eyes were glued to the big screen. The looks on their faces were absolutely priceless. The guests who were just yelling for me to kneel all looked like someone had just choked them. They couldn't say a single word. I stuffed my phone back into my pocket. I crossed my arms over my chest. I looked at the pale-faced Ji Bayang with a faint smirk. Hey, Miss Lin. Your little lapdog's acting skills kinda suck, don't they? How dare you set me up? Ji Bayang's previously pitiful face twisted in anger immediately. His voice was as shrill as a cat that just got its tail stepped on. He shoved Lin Muan away roughly, pointed at the big screen, and screamed furiously. This video is fake. You forged it. The footage on the big screen kept playing on loop. Every replay felt like a loud slap, right across Ji Bayang's face. The guests started whispering to each other. The looks they threw at Ji Bayang shifted, from sympathy to contempt and mockery. Oh, he fell on his own. What a waste he didn't go for an Oscar with that acting. The young master of the Ji family actually used such a cheap dirty. Tricked to frame a regular person. That's so humiliating. The Lin family really messed up this time. Picking a total loser like this. These whispers were like needles, stabbing into Lin Muan's ears. Her face was twisted with rage. She was trembling slightly. She was mortified beyond belief. But her first thought still wasn't to apologize to me. Guche, how can you be so scheming? You even secretly recorded this. Lin Muan whipped her head around and stared daggers at me. You just want to ruin Bayang's reputation, right? Lowlifes like you are so unbelievably vicious. Looking at how stubborn and ignorant she was, I just thought it was completely ridiculous. Lin Muan, if you don't need your brain, you can donate it to someone who does. I grabbed a microphone from the table next to me. My voice echoed through the whole banquet hall over the speakers. He came to mess with me first. He spilled the wine on himself. All I did was show the truth. How does that make me the vicious one? I scanned everyone in the room coldly. This so-called upper-class society of yours is just all about twisting the truth. And calling black white, huh? Old Mrs. Lin was shaking with rage. She pointed at me and yelled, "This is outrageous security. Throw this arrogant, ungrateful little bastard out of here." Over a dozen bodyguards stepped forward again. I stood there completely unafraid. I stared coldly at old Mrs. Lin. You don't need to throw me out. I'll leave on my own. I already got the 10 million from the Lin family. From now on, I, Gucha, have nothing to do with Lin Muan, or the Lin family ever again. This disgusting circle of yours, I don't want to stay here even one more second. I slammed the microphone down on the table. It made a sharp screeching noise. I turned around, strode quickly towards the entrance of the banquet hall. Everywhere I went, the bodyguards were intimidated by my aura and involuntarily made way for me. Lin Muan stared at my determined back and felt a sudden, inexplicable emptiness in her heart, like something that used to belong to her was completely slipping out of her control. She subconsciously took a step forward to chase me, but her pride forced her to stop dead in her tracks. Guche, if you walk out this door today, even if you kneel and beg me later, I won't even give you a second glance. Lin Muan screamed at the top of her lungs from behind. I didn't look back. I didn't even pause my steps for a second. As you wish. I pushed open the heavy door of the banquet hall, shutting that toxic mess of a world firmly behind me. The night wind blew, bringing a faint chill with it, but it made me feel more alert and free than ever before. Find out where that loser Guche ran off to. Annoyed, Lin Muan swept all the documents off her office desk and straight onto the floor. It's been a full month since that ridiculous thank you banquet ended. Over this past month, Lin Muan felt her life was a total mess. When she woke up every morning, there was no perfectly warm, stomach-soothing porridge brought to her bed. For all the expensive couture gowns in her dressing room, she could never find the right matching accessories, because Guche used to organize all these for her. When her stomach pain flared up, she would roll around in bed in agony. She called Ji Bayang, and that guy would only perfunctorily say, "Drink more hot water. I'm still in a meeting." But before, Guche would run across half the city in heavy rain, just to buy her the hot porridge she loved most from that shop. Lin Muan rubbed her throbbing temple, as a wave of unexplained irritation rose in her chest. She didn't want to admit she was used to Guche waiting on her. She just assumed that her cheap nanny Guche had suddenly resigned, which left her unable to adjust for the time being. What made her even more upset was that Ji Bayang's true colors were starting to show. A few times she even caught a whiff of pungent, cheap perfume on Ji Bayang's suit jacket. When she questioned him about it, Ji Bayang would always push her away impatiently and call her unreasonable. "Miss, we found out." The assistant pushed the door open nervously and handed over a stack of documents. Gucha, he went to Haicheng, and he used that 10 million yuan to register a tech company. And it's doing pretty well right now. Lin Muan snatched the documents away, staring hard at the photo of Guche in a suit, looking confident and energetic. In the photo, Guche had sharp eyes and a calm, steady aura. There was not a single trace of the old, humble, groveling, poor look he used to have. A strong sense of lost control and jealousy clenched Lin Muan's heart in an instant. How dare he live such a good life? Using our Lin family's money to mess around. Lin Muan said through gritted teeth, "Book me a flight to Haicheng right now. I'm going to see for myself what the hell he's up to." The next afternoon, Lin Muan wore 10-centimeter high heels and showed up at my company building aggressively. She still had that arrogant rich young lady attitude. She directly ignored the receptionist's attempts to stop her and burst into my office. I was sitting behind the large office desk, looking at the project report in my hand. When I heard the noise, I didn't even lift my eyelids. Guta, you've got some nerve. Daring to start a company behind my back, Lin Muan walked up to the desk and slammed her hands hard on the tabletop. I slowly closed the report, looked up and stared at her coldly. Miss Lin, breaking into someone else's office can get you in legal trouble, you know? Gusha, have you had enough of this farce? Come back with me. I can forgive your previous rudeness. Forgive me, Lin Muan? Do you have some kind of serious cognitive problem? I leaned back in the ergonomic office chair, with my arms crossed in front of me, staring at her like she was a total lunatic. Lin Muan choked on my words, her face turning bright red. She stared at me fiercely, as if trying to find a trace of pretense on my face. Much to her disappointment, there was only cold mockery in my eyes, not a single trace of the obsession she was used to seeing. Stop playing dumb here. Lin Muan raised her voice, trying to hide the panic in her heart. You deliberately moved to Haicheng to start a company. Isn't that just to get my attention? Do you really think putting on a suit can hide the poor trashy vibe in your bones? Let me tell you, you'll always be nothing but a bottom feeder who relies on the Lin family for handouts just to get by, you worthless trash. I listened quietly to her hysterical yelling. A cruel smirk tugged at the corner of my mouth. In my past life, she used this same arrogant tone to grind me down into the dirt. I stood up and slowly walked around the desk to her. My towering height and long-held authoritative aura forced Lin Muan to step back involuntarily. Lin Muan, do you think Jibayang will always be your first choice? I stared into her eyes, repeating every single word she had said to me. Back on the cliff edge in my past life, right back to her, word for word, and a scummy poor guy like me only deserves to be your on-call backup option. Lin Muan looked like she'd been struck by lightning, frozen solid on the spot. Her eyes went wide, staring at me in absolute terror. She'd only ever thought this line in the darkest corners of her own mind. She'd never mentioned it to anyone. She couldn't understand how I could so accurately pierce through the dirtiest secret deep in her heart. How could you? Her lips trembled. She couldn't even get a full sentence out. I didn't give her a chance to catch her breath. I kept going, every word cutting deep. You think you're some fancy princess? You're nothing but an ungrateful, selfish, backstabbing leech. You take everything I do for you for granted, yet you look down on my background. You crave Jibayang's power and influence, yet you turn a blind eye to his garbage character. Right now, to me, you're even worse than a stray dog on the side of the road. Lin Muan's mental defense completely crumbled. She covered her ears and shook her head wildly. No, that's not true. You're lying. I couldn't be bothered to look at her pathetic act anymore. I pressed the intercom on my desk. Send security up here. Throw this crazy woman in the office out for me. Less than 30 seconds later, 2 burly security guards rushed in. They grabbed Lin Muan's arms, one on each side. Let go of me! Do you know who I am? I'm the eldest daughter of the Lin family. Lin Muan struggled with all her might. Her perfect makeup was twisted with rage and fear. I sat back in my chair and reopened the report document. Throw her out now! Don't let trash like her into my company ever again. How dare you call me trash? Gucha, you'll regret this. Lin Muan fled back to Jingzhou in embarrassment. But what awaited her was a devastating piece of news. That was enough to destroy the entire Lin family. Jibayang was in trouble. Not only was he keeping multiple call girls on the side, he was also suspected of using several of the Lin family's core projects to run large-scale money laundering and financial fraud. After the scheme was exposed, the police arrested Jibayang, who was fooling around, directly at an underground casino. As soon as the news broke, the entire Jingzhou business scene was shaken. Lin Group's share price hit the lower limit just 10 minutes after trading started. Its market value plummeted by several billion. Old Mrs. Lin suffered a sudden outburst of anger and had a stroke, ending up in the ICU. She remains unconscious to this day. Lin Muan completely panicked. She went to the detention center to confront Jibayang. Through the iron bars, Jibayang no longer put on his usual gentle and refined pretense. His face was twisted, his gaze as vicious as a venomous snake. What are you doing here? Come to laugh at me, huh? Ji Bayang spat viciously. Lin Muan cried as she banged on the glass. Bayang! Why did you do this? Why did you lie to me? Why did you destroy the Lin family? Ji Bayang suddenly burst out laughing so hard that tears streamed down his face. Lie to you? You're just stupid. You really think I'd ever be into a skank? Like you that's been passed around? If I didn't have my eye on the Lin family's resources, do you think I'd ever lower myself to sweet-talk a dumb, clingy idiot like you? Every single word felt like a sharp knife, stabbing right into Lin Muan's heart. She collapsed onto the floor, feeling like her whole world had fallen apart. It wasn't until this moment that she finally saw Ji Bayang's true colors. Trapped in the abyss of despair, Lin Muan couldn't stop thinking about me. She remembered the Gu Che who worked 4 jobs a day just to buy her a small cake. She remembered the Gu Che who stayed by her bed all night long when she was sick, not daring to close his eyes even for a second. Intense regret was like a venomous snake, gnawing at her internal organs. It was late autumn in Haicheng, and the rain was pouring down. I had just finished an important business negotiation. Sitting in the back seat of the Maybach heading back to the hotel, the car just pulled out of the underground garage. The driver suddenly slammed on the brakes. Mr. Gu? There's a person kneeling in the rain up ahead, blocking our way. I rolled down the car window. I looked over coldly through the heavy rain. Lin Muan was soaked all over, kneeling in front of the car like a drowned rat. Her usually neat hair was plastered to her face. Her dress was covered in mud and water. When she saw the window roll down, she scrambled and rushed to the car door, holding onto the edge of the window tightly. Guche! I'm wrong. I really know I messed up. Please just give me another chance, okay? Give you a chance. So you can push me off the cliff again. I held a large black umbrella with a paper handle and pushed open the car door. Looking down at Lin Muan in the mud, cold rain dripped down along the umbrella ribs, landing right on her face. Lin Muan jerked her head up, staring at me in sheer terror. Of course, she had no idea I was reborn. She just felt my words were like a rusty saw, sawing through her soul little by little, leaving her nowhere to hide. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Her teeth were chattering, trying to hide the extreme fear in her heart. I watched her embarrassment and despair with satisfaction, not a single shred of pity in my heart, only the thrill of revenge. It's okay if you don't understand. All you need to know is, right now, you're worse than a pile of mud in my eyes. Lin Muan broke down crying hysterically. She lunged at me recklessly, wrapping her arms tightly around my leg. The mud stained my custom-made suit pants. Gucha, I really regret it. Ji Bayang is a beast. He lied to me. He even destroyed the Lin family. Grandma's still in the ER fighting for her life. The Lin family is going bankrupt, Gu Che. I only have you left. She tilted her face up, tears mixing with the rain, trying to use her pitiful look to stir up even the tiniest bit of our old romance. Gucha! I'm pregnant. It's Ji Bayang's. But I'll get an abortion tomorrow. As long as you're willing to take me back, I'll do whatever you say from now on. I can even be your slave for life. Listening to her shameless words, I just felt a wave of nausea. In my past life, she used this child as an excuse too, to lure me to the edge of the cliff, and pushed me off with her own hands. My gaze turned sharp. I lifted my leg and kicked her away mercilessly. Lin Muan screamed in pain and fell hard into a puddle of mud, splashing dirty water everywhere. Lin Muan, you don't even deserve my hatred anymore. I looked down at her from above, my tone as cold as thousand-year-old ice. The way you're groveling for mercy right now makes me absolutely disgusted. Don't dirty my eyes, get lost. My gaze turned sharp. I lifted my leg and kicked her away mercilessly. Lin Muan screamed in pain and fell hard into a puddle of mud, splashing dirty water everywhere. I turned around and got back in the car, without sparing her another glance. Drive, I ordered the driver coldly. Yes, Mr. Gu. On the other end of the phone, Asen's voice was as efficient and calm as ever. The source of the information is absolutely reliable. The Lin family is hitting walls everywhere right now. No domestic bank dares to lend them money anymore. They're using an underground broker to contact an overseas black capital firm. They want to use their old family house as collateral. to get a life-saving sum of money. Black capital firm. What's the market value of that old family house? In normal times, at least 500 million yuan. But the Lin family needs money urgently now, and the other party is that ruthless black capital firm. I reckon the maximum they'll offer is a 200 million yuan loan limit. And the interest will definitely be sky high. 200 million? They don't even deserve that. Sen, listen to me. Use all our connections. Find out immediately who the contact person from the Lin family is at that black capital firm, and the exact time and location of their negotiation. I'm going to intercept that deal